People, welcome back to Politics Watch. This is Sir P. Now today I'm going to talk about how a speeding ticket bring a halt to the career of one of Jamaica's most popular members of security forces, a man by the name of James Forbes. Now, in case you've forgotten, James Forbes was the man Jamaicans used to see on them screen doing the Crime Stop videos. He became a household name, probably one of the few or one of the first celebrity police officers I can think of. Right. But then you'd only see police when them give statement about certain incidents. But James Forbes was on the Jamaican people's screens talking about various crime scenes and telling people who have information to come forward. Right. I can still remember some of them. Right. It should start off like Sunday, April 19, 2005. Simple Simon was walking on the road when he was pounced upon by. So that's how it used to work, right? To be honest, they were very interesting, especially considering that they were real life stories, right? James Forbes was actually on the path toward becoming commissioner. Right? He was so popular that Mr. Enough people know him from TV already amongst his peers, right? Well known, highly rated, all was going well. And then out of nowhere, the Jamaican people here say James Forbes get charged. Mixed up in a corruption, James Forbes? Mr. Crime Stop? People couldn't believe it. What happened? Well, there was a businessman by the name of David Bruce Bicknell. Police catch him at about 18 and 50 zone. And when them pull him over, the events that transpired would go on to lead to James Forbes' career coming to an halt. Matter of fact, out of the three main people where they get caught up in it, I feel career probably get the biggest hit. The other individual, as me say, Bruce Bicknell, I'm sure he's doing perfectly fine. Daryl Vaz, you already know Daryl Vaz is. And that Daryl Vaz is like Christopher Teflon, right? Daryl Vaz Teflon, nothing to stick on Daryl Vaz, right? Well, at least in Jamaica, right? So he's doing perfectly fine. But James Forbes' career took a hit. So what happened? Well, I'm going to show you some of the actual court documents. Up on your screen right now. And in case you're wondering why I'm bringing out the unicorn meat, you already know I cannot miss the opportunity for bringing some sales, right? So make us see what one. So according to the court documents, a policeman by the name of Sergeant Llewellyn, so after him pull over Bruce Bicknell for the 80 in a 50 zone, right? Bicknell tell him say, and you can see it underlined already, him shouldn't bother write the ticket because I can take care of you. Right. That's, you see it on your screen? Remember those words that are coming very useful further on in the video. Among the documents handed to Sergeant Llewellyn were two $1,000 notes. $2,000. Sergeant Llewellyn informed Mr. Bicknell of the presence of the two notes and inquired of Mr. Bicknell as to the purpose of the two notes. Mr. Bicknell said, "It's okay, officer, you can have them." Feeling generous, I see. Remember that. Those statements are going to come in very useful further on. Sergeant Llewellyn basically come to the conclusion and say, Bicknell try bribe him. Now you don't have to be a graduate of Oxford or Cambridge, or Harvard or MIT. You don't have to be learned activist. If you come to the conclusion and say, that's not a routine traffic stop. Police don't stop you for speeding and you simply just say, here's $2,000. Don't worry, man. You can have them. Right? Or I can take care of you. Whatever that means. Right? Just remember, the policeman says so. Now I'm going to go into why all three men end up walking from the case. But remember, originally, it was Bicknell who bust the case first. Bicknell bust the case, that nobody go trial. Vaz, they go trial, and obviously, James Forbes go trial. We can move on to the next bit of document. So, after Sergeant Llewellyn, right, tell him squad say, Bicknell try to bribe him. Them lock up Bicknell on the spot. Right, them inform him, say them are going to lock him up. Right. But as you can see on your screen, the policeman I said after that, him start get be a phone call. So much phone call to the point him have to turn off his phone. Right away, the policeman pick up say, it's not just anybody. Then just lock up. This is probably the first time the policeman realized the magnitude of what he was up against. Keep that in mind again. This will all be relevant when you see the 180 with the same policeman end up make further on down the line. So now after getting so much phone call about the incident to the point I have to lock off him phone card, now I'm under pressure. Right. Where am I under pressure for? If somebody the 18 and 50 zone and you pull them over, man offer you money until they say him can't take care of you. You say, hold on, this way they try to bribe me. You lock him up. Where your phone a ring off for? Isn't that what policemen should do? Anyway, Sergeant Llewellyn ended up under so much pressure now that him start to seek advice from other people. He might start link up with former retired police commissioners and all kind of people. He more because remember he's a policeman. Right, so I guess he might talk to other bigger heads now for try to see the direction in protect. As you can see on your screen, he told C.P. Thomas, that's the former commissioner of police, right, of the possibility that he may have made a mistake in concluding that Mr. Bicknell had tried to bribe him. Now keep the backstory in mind. Originally, there was no confusion at all. A man offer him money, tell him to take care of him, lock up, phone start ring off, all kind of people start call. Now him realize who Bruce Bicknell is. Suddenly, they must say look like he made a mistake. I mean, you have to remember some very powerful people were reaching out to the policeman. Right. I tell him all kind of sad story. Matter of fact, if you look at your screen, you can see. Say on the 12th of April 2012, Daryl Vaz, the MP Daryl Vaz, link up with the policeman, and I tell him say, you can see on your screen underlined in red. Right, I tell him about the state of Mr. Bicknell's health and Mr. Bicknell was not well enough to survive prison, and that a conviction would ruin his status as a businessman. Daryl Vaz displaying a level of empathy here that we should all aspire to. Well, before we go any further, I get out the unicorns then. I can't miss the opportunity to get 2 seals, When you can see it, right. This unicorn filly might not look like much, but trust me, has great potential. I'm just claim off for the wharf. If you buy the facts that Daryl Vaz reach out to Sergeant Llewellyn on behalf of Bicknell, because he's an empathetic man and he's such a caring individual, and he would do this for everybody, not just people who are wealthy and powerful like Bicknell, then you need to link me. Because if you would buy that story, then you would buy unicorns, and I have them for sale. Right. 2 bag of unicorn show will also be included. Customer service of the highest standards. Now let's get back to the court documents, because by now, as you can see, policeman under pressure. Who knows say one speeding ticket could have bring down so much pressure? Policeman then probably write 1,000 tickets in them life. But on that day, then was happened to come up against Bruce Bicknell. So now, people are called Daryl Vaz tell him say no man, him now can't manage prison. You get to the point after the police them talk to other police and decide say meeting I go call. This is the meeting that ended up get James Ford in a bag of problem. As you can see on your screen, at the start of the meeting, Sergeant Llewellyn said that he was not proceeding with the matter, as he on reflection never thought Bicknell committed any offence. Right. He goes on to state, Mr. Forbes, that's James Ford, this is Sergeant Llewellyn saying to Mr. Forbes, according to James Ford, Mr. Forbes, if I sit here and tell you that this man offered me a bribe, I would be lying on him, and my conscience would bother me. It's for that reason I decided not to proceed and went to Commissioner Thomas for advice, as I thought I made a mistake in court. Remember how it started. One reminder now. Man pull over man, right, speeding, man and documents for car to the policeman. There were $2,000, right, $2,000 notes in the documents in. Now while I have to admit, I have never attended a criminology course in Germany, I think it's safe to assume so any citizen will get pulled over by the police and I go say, I quote, officer, don't bother writing a ticket because I can take care of that. And then when the police ask you, the citizen, after you say that, say, what are $2,000 for? You say, it's okay, officer, you can't have them. I'm pretty sure police are going to hold on you and say you try to bribe them. No two ways about it. What a man or half a man money I talk about, it's okay, you can't have them. I know you from nowhere. Or if be a policeman pull you over for speeding and you give me $2,000 about me can't have them. I know you. What is $2,000 for? What is light bill? Rent? What is? I don't know you. Me and a partner. Right? So can your partner draw? Yeah, give me. Me and a round robin. So can you round up? What is money for? After I just sketch out the 18 and 50. I'm telling you how the law work. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove in a court. Anyway, the same policeman who was once saying that that go on and the man that tried to bribe him. No. I said, well, him not feel like that go on, man. After all the call make and how much big wigs I tap him on him shoulder and tell him, say, no man, forget about this man. No when a time for the serious part start. You must say, you know what? Say probably make a mistake still. Him never really, because technically that's true, because it's not like say the mother go say, hello Mr. Officer, I am here to try and bribe you. No, him never say that. But ask yourself this question. What happened between the initial incident, the whole of phone call him, the whole of people negotiate on behalf of Bicknell, to now we get to the point where the policeman has say him feel like he make a mistake, even matter to the police commissioner him, will I go on to them phone call them. So anyway, big meeting call, right, between the various parties then. James Forbes was there, Bicknell was there, and several others. And then Bicknell ended up drafting up a statement where you can see on your screen. And he's saying that, right, he wished to state on record that the notes were inadvertently placed among the documents and were not in any way intended as a bribe for Sergeant Llewellyn. Right, inadvertently basically means say accident. Him accidentally put the notes them between the car documents and hand it over. Now remember, originally the policeman say, the man team say he will take care of him, but I write the ticket, me take care of you. And then the policeman say, where this for? And him say, alright, it's alright man, you can have them. Between me and still me feel like Squaddy was disrespected by the $2,000. Cause like Squaddy still that sound too low. That too low. Worse if I 2-3 of them out there, that can't share. Or $2,000 go share between 3 man and get Squaddy upset. Turn him in a walk the vest right away. Right. morals chip in right away. Right. Come on. What a quick arrest and charge. But it's also entirely possible that, at the time the policeman was just somebody who was rooted in his values and his principles and decided to say him not take the money. Right. And he was so offended at the fact that you'd even offer him money that him say, you know what? Come Squally, make a drop a quick charge upon him. This is unacceptable. So now, the same man who prior to knowing who Bicknell was, as in who him linked with and his connections and, because you can tell based on who I call you and who you meet up with, alright, this man is well connected. Same policeman start to doubt himself, so was he trying to bribe me? I mean, that isn't, maybe it was an accident, so the $2,000 note them just happened to drop in between the fitness and the car registration. Yeah, maybe it was an accident. Yeah, man. And one time him say him gonna take care of me, maybe he means say him is a nurse and him gonna take care of me if me ever get sick. Oh, that he mean by take care of me. Oh, no, me I understand. Him never try to bribe me then. She said me have everything wrong. Cho blouse and skirt. Me need to stop jump to conclusions in the man. See, because look how me get myself in now. The man he never try to bribe me. So the main witness start changing mode. I'm telling you how courthouse thing work. It don't matter who you be. If you're going to the courthouse, once there's a reliable witness who stand up on them 2 feet, you get synced. But if the witness a turn up, or the witness change them mode, right, or even before you go trial, witness say them forget and then can't remember, and then case can't go away. Don't you find it strange that the case drop for Bicknell before it even dropped? For James Forbes, remember James Forbes was him get charged with perverting the course of justice. I must say him a try met the policeman. Nobody pursue the case against Bicknell. Right. So how Bicknell, the person who was originally accused of doing the bribe, must bust the case before even Vaz and Forbes. That not sound strange. Bicknell was the main villain in all of this. And the policeman like I said, the man who him say bribe him, no him say him don't know if the man bribe him. Right. So that should the case there. But come we could go forward with the case against James Forbes. You see why this case is spooky? Him can't, him don't even, him gonna say, no when him think about it, there wasn't even a bribing at the first place. All of a sudden, because him did make it clear so the man say me take care of him and give him money, and yeah man, he can't have the money. Then phone call, make meeting, all kind of people start meet with him, who knows where him here. Next thing, say come to think of it, he never try to bribe me. But come, I could carry on the case with Vaz and James Forbes. See, I had a good idea to James Forbes to like beat this case on appeal, because once the case on Bicknell drop down, once the case on Vaz drop down, then all the case on James Forbes I go hold up. I bribe the must have to go on at the first place. For James Forbes then I try help you I try help the man get out of the situation. So if you're gonna say, well, come to think of it, he never bribe me, then we're gonna have meeting for help Bicknell get out of this one time. You know I said the man never even bribe in the first place. What go on with the squaddy? Why the statement change? I mean, I don't know. As I say, I never do a criminology course in France. Something look too right. So the case against James Forbes was never gonna go anywhere. And by the way, it's not like say James Forbes was sentenced to the jailhouse, right? Him get fined 800,000 and the court has to listen. Now that's him in the appeal, give him back him 800,000. So James Forbes don't give back him money. He never that gone away. But even though he's been found not guilty, when we read the documents, this still not look good for James Forbes. Because, let me tell you something, people at Jamaica, you and abroad. You can't get the meeting with James Forbes and the policeman. You see that meeting we call with Bicknell? Only Bicknell and them type of man they can get that. Nobody feels that you can in a situation that time you boy a call no SSP if you're going to a meeting with the other man. Right? You're going through the system straightforward. You don't get them perks there. So even though, let me say, James Forbes' name is now cleared legally, court of law. When you look on the court documents and you break it down, it's spooky. But the court say, him free, so man free and get back his money. For other people, this is redemption for James Forbes. Enough people never really stop rate him anyway. Enough people, as I said, James Forbes is a popular man. Even to this day, James Forbes is still a popular man. And don't bother shedding a tears to James Forbes, because even throughout this whole ordeal, James Forbes ended up getting employed by Sandals. I think now the last time I looked online, right, according to the interwebs, James Forbes is now the head, right, of corporate security for Sandals, right, chief of corporate security. So James Forbes was not dying on the malnutrition for the last 6 years. He never did dime yard, sit down stress out, I wonder how I go pay him water bill. Right. James Forbes has been doing okay for himself. Right. Apart from the fact that his JCF career come to a standstill, and like if you understand, so he must say he's not interested in working at JCF, why would he? He'd be taking a backward step in terms of salary, that's for sure. Right. If I run off security with Sandals, unless he just want the title, because as I say, some people were saying that James Forbes was on his way to becoming commissioner of police. Or in case one of them why Daryl Vaz never get found guilty either, is because the police them again say, well, they don't even really remember much of the conversation, and no real bribe never that go on, so they may have to drop the case against Daryl Vaz too. So out of the three man them, James Forbes alone they take the fall, and now he may not bust film case too. But that case was never going to last. Once the case against Bicknell and Vaz fall down flat, very unlikely that James Forbes' case would have stand out. So what this has started is that when police pull over and you're giving them your car documents, your license and your fitness and your registration and your insurance, make sure to look if there's any $1,000 notes in between, because you don't want to accidentally appear to be bribing an officer, because next thing you know, it might trigger off a snowball effect and a policeman who was on his way to becoming commissioner career might come to a standstill. Right? Because this whole thing was just a giant misunderstanding. You have to link me for the unicorn name. You can get some wild stocks last. Anyway, Patreon squad, big up on yourself. Look out for another Patreon exclusive video tomorrow morning. You don't know who the things over this already. Don't have to black out nothing or blur nothing. Right, just show me a show and talk with me a talk. You have to worry about getting the warnings, right, about the guidelines. Anyway, PIA, you don't know, more life. Vulture squad, stay circling. Bless.